All right, gentlemen, welcome back to episode 3, the end of day 2 of The Haunting. You recall that Mr. Tanner, a friend of yours who organized a bit of a little recreational group into the supernatural and occultism, gathered every Sunday at his bookstore in downtown Boston. A friend of his had asked you to look into a residence known as the Corbitt house. Now, this house, he was trying to sell it or rent it out, and he was having issues with the house, being unable to rent it, as the last tenants, the Macario family, they were involved in some incredibly nasty tragedy. And he had wanted that Mr. Tanner to look into it for him, seeing as though it was kind of up Mr. Tanner's alley. Mr. Tanner, being preoccupied with other things, thought it'd be an interesting little assignment, you could say, to put forth towards his budding young occultists and see what they can up with. He offered multiple avenues of research, an address and key of the house, and our investigators on day 1 made the most of their days. Right off the hop, the investigators visited the house, searched general areas of the main floor of the house, had some supernatural events occur, leading from the radio playing to unseen rats, to the phone call with no one there, and then to eventually having Zachariah Mephalsia seem to be overcome and possessed, where he uttered only 2 words: "Get out." Players did this, headed to the Boston Globe. They met with Mike, the editor, and learned a few things about the house and past residents. After a long day, they decided to re-meet at the Sunny Side Up, which is a local diner in downtown Boston that they all knew. Day 2, bright and early, our investigators decided to go visit the sanitarium, where the Macario family, well, the father and mother, who were both being cared for. Already spoke with Vittoria, and with the husband. Not getting a lot, but seeing how badly, physically and mentally, the two had become. After that, the investigators decided to go to the Boston Police Department. And Mr. Mike Reed, our private investigator, made friends with the desk sergeant there and was shown into the record files, where the party found various reports of a police raid, mugshots, and autopsy reports on a place called the Chapel of Contemplation. After that, the party decided to check it out, head to this Chapel of Contemplation. Upon arriving, there was really only ruins left that had been that way for many years. Cillian noticed a local vagrant outside of the church and spoke to him. And he won him over. And the gentleman told them about 3 young men who were dressed in black who had vandalized the chapel about a week or so prior with graffiti. The party entered the ruins of the Chapel of Contemplation, and they saw this big eye with what looked like lines, 3 lines coming off of it. And as soon as the party got close and actually went into where the former chapel was standing, they started to get this throb and very deep in their back of their heads, just a constant throb, like an itch you can't scratch, like a headache that just won't go away but doesn't get bad enough that you start medicating. It's just there. While the three were rooting around and searching through the chapel, the rotted beams and flooring that once housed the larger chapel creaked and groaned and collapsed under the weight of the investigators. Zachariah saw it coming, was able to deftly get out of the way. Mike and Cillian were not. Cillian was able to jump just as the floor collapsed beneath his feet, and Mike tumbled into the darkness below, receiving a minor wound. In the basement, in the dark, as Mike fumbled for his flashlight, you could hear Cillian and Zachariah searching for a way down to him frantically in the darkness. As he switched his light torch flashlight on, he found two long dead bodies dressed in some sort of ceremonial robes. There was no flesh left on them. They're searching the area. They came across some moldy church records, and Mike was able to spot under an old rotting cabinet a very large, heavy book and a diary. Mike had pulled it out and passed it to Zachariah. Just as the sun was setting and the rain once again started to come down. The book, Liber Yvonis. And that is where we start tonight's episode.
Cillian starts breathing a little bit harder as his eyes lie on the graffiti and the book. You can see a nervous hand, unlike usual, go through his hair. Don't like the look of that thing. What's it say?
Let's see it here. And open it up and kind of hold it up under the flashlight out of the rain. Do I recognize this language?
You carefully take this book from Cillian. The book itself is handwritten as you flip open the front cover of the book. But you can tell that it's Latin. But it is so rotten and worm-eaten that whole sections of the book are no longer readable.
No fucking idea. Latin, but that's as much as I can tell.
Anybody speak Latin?
Gaelic.
Thanks,
That's not Latin.
And yes, Cillian, I think you're going through your not the regular microphone.
Your mic sounds funny.
Oh, one moment. Sorry, it's been a while since I had this issue, but my apologies, guys.
Oh, it's fine. Latin, no one Latin?
Nope, just Sumerian.
All right.
Check.
There we go. Ooh, that's
80% English. That's about all I got.
Yeah, I'm like a 90 in English, so.
all right. Zachariah, you can make me a education roll.
Alrighty.
Good. I potentially try as well. I think I have a fairly high education score.
Sure, go ahead.
While they're doing that, I don't quite remember. Is there anything I can do about my hit points? Does first aid do
Nice.
anything?
Yes, we'll get to that shortly.
Okay.
Zachariah and Cillian. Cillian, you definitely know this is Latin. Discussing it with Zachariah, you see some ancient, what look like ancient glyphs and writing, scribblings. You both kind of get the feeling that it's definitely some sort of occultist tomb, but without speaking Latin. At this point, it remains closed to you. Mike, you have suffered 2 points of damage, so you can either try a medicine or a first aid roll. First aid roll will stabilize any bleeding, healing 1 hit point. Medicine roll will do 1d3, and you can actually do both at the same time. You can do both. So.
Oh.
I point my cigar at him and cast Healing Word. No.
Try and cauterizes your wound with a cigar.
Healing Word!
So yeah, anyone who has medicine or first aid is...
I think I do, actually. Let me see.
Give it a shot.
And you can see his... he's got a
Get
bruised
high is
shoulder. Low is better.
With the darkness and the mark, it's hard to tell exactly
that's
what's
right.
going on, so I'll probably fuck it up.
Yeah.
I've got how to roll. There we go.
Yeah, me too. Don't I just click on the
Right
icon?
click and then roll.
Oh, okay. Yep. It's been a while. Okay. Roll. Yikes.
First aid, first aid. Cillian, try to medicine. So those who... so Cillian, you could try a first aid, and Zachariah and Mike, you can both try medicine rolls. You'd like to try that?
Alright.
Or you could always try and push a roll.
First aid is separate from medicine?
Yes. Yeah.
Medicine seems to be more long term. First aid
Yes.
seems to be first aid.
I'm so sorry, I can't see. Oh, yeah, there it is, right there. That's why I thought I had it, because I had like 60 in it. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, there you go. First aid. All right. Yeah, Cillian. Cillian comes over to you, Mike, and Cillian, you look at him, you can tell his... he has some sort of minor cuts and abrasions that, given the state of the building and what he fell on, if he doesn't get those treated, he's probably due for an infection. So you get him cleaned up as good as you can, and Mike, you will heal 1 hit point.
If I may, I do have a flask with some whiskey in it. Could I carefully pour some out and like pour it on his cut there?
That's exactly what you do.
That's a waste of good whiskey. Well, I appreciate it. Oh, that's
Good
really got the
whiskey.
wind out of me.
Zachariah's looking.
This
green
is
with
hot
blood.
gut, baby.
And you can see your clothes are kind of torn now and dusty, but he rips off a piece of fabric and wraps it around the
That's okay.
cuts on your shoulder.
Far too much for me.
Fucking music.
So, what do we want to do now? This has been very exciting. I'm sorry for your scratches.
Well,
I'll survive.
I wanna look around a bit. Let's see what we can find here.
I think that's
Yeah.
a great idea.
We are currently in the tunnels underneath the Chapel of Enlightenment.
Contemplation. Yeah, it's basic.
Contemplation.
It's basically one. There were basically 2 rooms. You're in the one room that was kind of hidden. You've already thoroughly searched this room, which is where you found the book and the journal.
Church records.
Yeah, and church records.
I'm trying to move my token, but it's not.
It's
Oh,
paused.
it's paused. Yeah,
Sorry.
there's no real
And-
place to lurk around here.
Right. And we didn't see any like obvious footprints in the dust or anything like that, right?
No.
It just seems like this place has been abandoned for a long, long time. Okay.
Probably given the original date of the raid.
Mm.
right? And that happened in 1912, and it's 1920 now, so you're looking at 8 years of undisturbed mess, water, black soot is over everything. You can look down at your clothes, and you're just completely covered in that ash, dirt.
I say, gentlemen, let's go someplace warm, dry, and get some food, and gather all this information together and make something out of it.
Hey,
First we
Hey.
got camera right.
Oh,
maybe-
hey,
hey, you there?
what's that?
Are you okay? Hey.
I mean, we're all right. Do I see anybody?
You,
Looking around.
yeah, I hear you there. Yeah. And as you're kind of looking down, you can see, as you flash your light up, you see Jim, who was the vagrant there. He's kind of
Oh,
peering over top of where the floor once was, and you kind of catch him with the flashlight. Ah! Oh,
Jimmy, fall down.
you okay?
We're
My
alive.
ear's got a bad scotch.
Be careful though, that floor's weak.
Yeah, okay, just checking you're okay. That's
You
good.
wouldn't happen to have a rope, would you? Maybe 50 feet of hempen rope on you?
Rope, no, I can go look for some if you want me to.
I start exploring around down here, looking for stairs that are going up.
That'll be just downright lovely, lad. Thank you.
And you see his head kind of disappears. You hear some shuffling. Not sure exactly how successful he'll be in his search, but
I'm looking around for a flashlight, with a flashlight, looking for anything hidden or a way up.
all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of these bodies because I feel like that might be handy in the future. Do you boys think we should report this to the local police, or
Oh,
maybe
in
we
good
keep
time,
this
in
under our
good time.
hats for a bit?
Yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere. Get some of that. Get them on film, and get us looking around. And oh, here, let me see it. And I take the camera, and actually film it on him, and see
Killian
if
crosses
showing his
himself.
injuries.
As
Showing his
guys like
wounds.
approaching those corpses.
Yeah,
So
I
you
feel
know,
like I
it's
take a
rough and
picture with my thumb over the lens. Now this one's pretty good. But here, and I'll hand over the camera to him. You can give it a shot too.
All right, I actually have 0. I don't
I-
even have this as a skill, so
I was supposed to, but I completely forgot with all the wedding prep. But I do have it as a skill. I have 10 in it.
no, he
Ah.
hands the camera. Yeah, 'cause I'm like, I don't know how to do this, and he just
Okay.
hands it to you.
I'm
Here.
I did.
let's
Get us
assume I'm
looking around.
extremely drunk, which is why I don't know how to do this properly. So I'll try.
Well, you get it running, and you're kind of going around, and I mean, you're taking video. You can't actually see what it looks like for now. But in the darkness, you pass over the bodies, the cabinet, the rest of the collapsed building. You remember Cillian and Zachariah? You came down the stairs, and then there
That's
was that old cabinet that had basically crumbled, and you kind of made your way through that hole into this little area where Mike was injured.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, my good man. We came this way. Come, let's go back. There's stairs.
All right. Ah,
Mike, I gave you back a hit point.
thank you.
All right, so you're done here. You're gonna make your way up and out.
Yep. And to spot anything hidden.
Three of you make your way up, and you see Jim. He's hasn't gone very far, and he's kind of huddling under a ledge of the old chapel, keeping out of the rain. Seems to be snoring.
I say, a Samaritan seems to have napped on us.
I didn't really have much hope he'd find that rope. That's fine.
Bud.
So this graffiti means this cult has moved somewhere. It didn't just end here.
Well, we know the house There's something there. And these scraps of notes, they point to even more of that. Have you had a chance to read them?
Just bits and pieces. Let's see, where is that?
Writing's really tiny.
If you look, and he hands out this funny little notebook. It says party notebook on it. And everything has been transcribed and written out.
Oh,
So we can see it clearly what it says. But I gotta tell you, it was a pain in the ass.
the journal, right?
Yeah, because some of that stuff was upside down.
Oh my
There's-
god, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Chris
Yeah.
MVP.
Alright, let's see here.
This first one, the elder has spoken. Walter Corbitt, the house. He's a wise and powerful man, is ready for the next step. Buried in his basement.
Huh.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
It
The
all
one
leads
who
back
waits
to
in
that
the
basement.
dark. Yes, I think that's where we're going to end up. We still don't know exactly what the S, then it cuts off. Then they're clear. There are others like us. Yet, but they will, and when they fall, it's like just such tantalizing bits of a play that's broken apart.
Or stole.
Stars have a
Goodbye, birds.
line?
They speak about stars in this note. Maybe stars is what this says. D is in the other ones,
Hey, I didn't find your rope for you. I wanted to ask these guys who had just stopped. They look like the guys from before. Remember I told you they come by, but they took off in a hurry, and because I guess they were gonna go get rope for you, maybe.
I see.
Maybe
What
they did,
direction
yeah,
did they go?
They went that way. And he points off in a direction.
Gentlemen, we cover great ground and we have the headlights of the car. Let us see if we can find these mysterious gentlemen.
Yes, we'll have
Discuss
to
This
get
is
notes
like-
as we look for them.
This was like a Model T. Did that have running boards? Could I go on the outside with my flashlight?
Let me
It
can I
is-
try to
Did actually.
It is starting to
Actually-
rain. Or it is raining, actually.
Could I try climbing it?
Go over.
No, you can just take the stairs.
Oh, this.
Yeah,
oh,
so
downstairs. Okay,
you're
sorry.
back up top, talking with Jim there.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
We are advancing our goal through the use of, Liber Ivonis, the book. It contains powerful spells. The ultimate objective, not matter how difficult it now. So confusing, all cut off.
Just the bits and pieces you were able to glean from the rotting pages before they basically turned to dust as you flipped them.
This is ominous.
Yeah, this opener of the way. I wonder what that is.
Oh, but listen to this. Go.
Oh,
That there is a
bad.
darkness that lives under this city and in all the cities. And if they would survive, they must appease it with the blood once every year. Gentlemen, if this is true, we could make quite a living doing this.
Wait
I
a
can see a
minute.
whole series of
Sacrificing
movies.
people?
Well, we
His
find
eyes,
it, get rid of
Keelan's
it.
eyes open up like. You think so?
And we could be ridding the world of evil and making money and be movie stars.
Movie stars. Wait, you said there's you said there's magic in there, right?
Yeah, there is some actual magic here. That's
Yeah.
I think what happened to me really happened to me.
Do you think there'll be magic in that to fix my tongue?
Only one way to find out.
You'll see like when
Okay.
he pulls out the tongue, you see like there's a line of scars like all over the top of it. Like you understand why he sometimes says S like
Oh my
with a
dear
really
man!
bad slur.
What horrible thing happened to you?
back in the war. So I'm trying to back in the war, back in the war. I thought there was shelling in the lads. We took shelter, and I found
Yes,
out the basement in the French countryside.
Oh, that night. Oh dear.
I went back, poked my head back into the trench to let them know. I went deaf and blind. When I came to, I thought my body desperately giving just compressions to our lieutenant. Except our lieutenant was missing everything from the botkin down. And my body, every compression that he was doing was sending more and more of his brains falling out of his head. I fell back into the basement. Another explosion. In there was this signs and the writings on the wall, just like that one. Something about what I just experienced sent me over. When I woke up later, I was in a field hospital. My hair had gone completely white. And my tongue, they said I bit it in almost 3 pieces. They were able to suture it back on, but I'll never be able to act in movies. A body double. It's all I can aspire to with my tongue like this.
Zachariah just hands you the book, looks really green in the face, and goes back and throws up by the wall.
Out of character, wasn't Zachariah also a soldier?
Zachariah, he was the supervisor of the army library.
Okay,
Okay?
I gotcha.
Yeah, he wore a uniform.
And you see him turn and haul his guts all over the wall. You notice that they're all getting kind of wet here, standing out in the rain and the chill.
I rarely see this. I rarely see this, gentlemen. Perhaps maybe we should go and get a nice warm drink. Coffee with some whiskey.
Agreed.
Ah,
Agreed. Mightily agreed.
Mike will light up a cigar, stare in the middle distance. Might be time to get out of here.
I understand it is a tradition to imbibe spirits the night before a battle.
So it is.
Yeah, seems like answers are in this house, maybe in the basement.
Does anyone know
Well-
where one of these establishments is? I don't typically go to them.
Well, fella. Let's get some hot fire in our bellies.
Believe our friend here might know. And I'll poke the vagrant. Hey, which is the closest gin joint?
Oh, what?
We're looking for a drink, good man.
Drink. He kind of holds up his wet paper bag, and he feebly offers it to you. Drink, friend.
Well,
That
yeah.
can't be any more horrifying.
DM, I think I would know a place, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you can head back downtown. There's speakeasies all over the place.
Yeah,
They're not illegal.
I'll take them down to Patty's. Like maybe there's probably a place called Patty's.
Absolutely, absolutely, there is.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
I'll take set them down in my favorite, in the last bar thing. What's it call it? The stool.
Go grab a chair, a stool at the bar.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Kind of
sounds good.
walk in looking very out of place.
This is definitely would be a rough place where Cillian is not home.
Yeah.
All right.
This is an
Hello,
adventure.
Hello, there us all 2 shots each.
All right, just saddled up to the bar, and the bartender, the gruff old man, turns around. He's got the little shot glasses, and he just free pours over all of them, all over the bar.
I'll hand him an appropriate amount of money and say, hey, just leave the bottle.
Gives you a nod and just sets it there. Turns around and kind of serving some other people.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, anytime. Anytime, Cillian.
Give my regards to Moira.
Hey, we're looking at, it's probably around 8 o'clock at night now. It's gotten dark. Chill has set in.
So, gentlemen, what's the game plan for the morrow? I assume meet up early and check out the house, the basement. You just want to do a full sweep of the house?
I dare say I don't want to go down there at night first.
Makes sense.
Probably a bad idea.
And I am terribly sorry about earlier. Yes, blood
Under
and
the bridge.
violence is not my thing, but I will try and help you if I can. Absolutely.
Oh,
Under
well, yeah.
the bridge. Under the bridge.
Just know I know I'm not very good in a fight. I'm counting on you, gentlemen.
We all have our
Desperately.
strengths.
Don't worry.
Good.
I'll keep you safe.
So yeah, he's I guess yeah. It's I made it. This thing. It's been in this house, and generations of people have fallen to it. I mean, the notes.
He'll clutch his cross necklace again under his shirt, looking contemplative.
And the man said, it dies by its own weapon? Is that what he said? Something like that? And the weapon is over and over again a kitchen knife.
Wasn't a butcher's
Yeah.
knife.
Butcher.
Yeah, butcher's
well,
knife. It seemed like there was a butcher. Wait, wasn't there a butcher they went to frequently that was
well,
nearby?
They was specific about the word. It was kitchen knife. I don't think a butcher's knife was necessarily used. I think
I
there was a kitchen's
recall-
knife.
If I recall, pardon me,
Yes.
didn't one of them ran to a nearby butcher shop to grab a knife? I seem to recall that detail.
Yes. That's where the butcher came from. That makes sense. I wonder if that knife is still there in that house.
Do you think it's the same knife? I was just assuming it was a different knife each time.
I suppose.
The spirits like to grab hold of objects. There's a reason why talismans have gone down through history. And trust me, gentlemen, the knife is important.
Let's go over our note and see. Was it 1 knife, 2 or 3?
Well, in a casual looking, I don't see anything that indicates a knife was ever recovered or kept anyway.
Wouldn't it
A
be
lo-
as
yeah.
evidence by the police then?
Okay, hold on. I kind of need a break in reality for this for a moment because I have a question for DM. 1920s Boston. Evidentiary laws. How were they held? I don't happen to know.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
good.
yeah, no, you know exactly what I mean.
Exactly.
Would have they just wiped it down and put it back with the set in the kitchen at that time?
Yeah, there wasn't really anything as far as like forensics that we have now, right?
Yeah,
There was no
exactly.
DNA. There was very basic fingerprinting at that time, but
They would know who was holding the knife. They found them with the knife. Like
exactly.
that's
So it has no value to keep it.
yeah,
It's like, this is the knife we found him with.
Yeah.
You know? It's like
yeah, Exhibit A over
not
here.
nine
yeah.
cops witnessing that he had a knife.
hey
in the
Jim,
backyard,
here's
you
the
had-
knife, right?
Yeah. So okay. So there is really a better than average chance that knife could still be there.
Could be.
Could be. Not saying it is, but if it it could be.
The thought occurs, gentlemen.
Okay. Back to
Since
Zachariah.
since the butcher knife was stolen, and they saw no reason to hang on to it, would they have returned it to the butcher?
Very good question. We will do well at this. Yes. I think a morning stop at the butcher shop. Maybe get some bacon. Just saying. And so let's see what they tell us. And then, if we need to, we can go to the basement of that house in daylight and see what we can find. And
I like it.
then decide from there. We'll stop and make sure we have enough film for the camera.
Sounds like a sound idea.
A couple things that your characters would remember that you probably don't is there were actually different knives that were talked about in the reports. One was a butcher knife, but one was a large kitchen knife.
Oh, okay.
So
there would
it-
also be easy.
Yeah, it wasn't just one knife; there were multiple. So I just want to clarify that.
Okay. Yeah, that wouldn't be that important.
And one of the things you would have realized is when you originally did some of your searching, you didn't really know much about Corbitt or the house or the history of the house because you really didn't have much to go on. Now you've got a little bit more to go on as far as Corbitt and this house, which may make searching easier for anything you're looking for. And there were one of the places you hadn't gone yet was the library or the Hall of Records were two things outstanding, as well as going back to the house. And of course, you could always go back to any of the other locations or back into the neighborhood of where the house was. So there's a lot of options for you, but these are things your guys would know.
So gentlemen, what don't we know? I think that is the most important thing to figure out. What don't we know?
We don't know what's in the basement. We don't know how this is all happening.
Don't know what this thing is or how long it's been here.
What's the connection between the church and this thing in the basement? My feelings is that the basement connects to tunnels. But farther beyond that,
The
know why
Hall of
something
Records
happened.
might have the Hall of Records might have like blueprints of these buildings and tunnels.
What a shot then. Sketch the butcher shop. All records it is.
Outstanding. I love our adventures.
In a good distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me have the camera. And I said, I'll make sure that the film we have is developed immediately.
I'll see you in a week.
Yeah.
All right, you finish up your. You're
I'm
basically
intently interested in listening to the people around me, by the way. Just unabashedly, just kind of staring.
this is not a situation you find yourself in very often, so you're kind of interested in it more from an educational standpoint than actually a social entertainment kind of deal, and seeing the people talk to each other and the minglings of people. Mike, this is old hat for you and Cillian, so you're basically enjoying your drinks. kind of free pouring, filling your shot glasses back up and warming the insides as the outsides dry out.
I am definitely trying to keep up, which with my tiny little body, I don't know how that's going to go.
And your little body. Just a little body. Would this
Yeah,
be
I'm-
one of the places where I participate in, like, you know,
In
cups?
fisticuffs, no, this is just a regular old speakeasy.
Family pub.
Yeah.
Family, yeah.
All right. So,
Oh.
I'll order a shepherd's pie and smoke my cigar while I feel my tongue around and look back at that book.
I just kind of like, whatever he's having, just bring one for me, please. Whatever that is.
Okay. I gingerly check my wounds and wince at one and just pour myself another shot to dull the pain.
Yeah, this is nothing new to you. Nothing new to you, Mike. It's kind of comes with the territory of being a private investigator. That's a little sore. Might not be broken, but it's definitely bruised. And you guys have some drinks and have some food as the night kind of drags on. But I guess you're going to be heading back home and meeting up
Yeah, in the morning.
The
Morning
next
for
day?
breakfast at the usual place.
back at the sunny side up. All right, unless you guys want to do anything else, we'll forward to the next day.
All right.
Fine with that.
All right, next day rolls around, and you find yourself once again at the sunny side up. Grab your what is now almost becoming your usual table, and as you enter and sit down, the waitress gives you a wave, and within a few minutes, she's come over with your breakfast and coffees. Gives you a little wink and heads back behind the counter, leaving you to discuss the upcoming day's plans.
I gingerly hand the camera back over to Mike. Like, this is becoming a routine already. I like it.
And it's
Cool black coffee.
It's refreshing.
Smoking my cigar, looking kind of thunderous, kinky. Didn't sleep well. Could see black bags under my eyes. Let's get this done with the bastard. The field guy. Some monsters.
Oh, it was the butcher shop in the Hall of Records.
I think actually we cut out the butcher shop, didn't we? Because we realized there was different knives.
Oh yeah,
Well-
because that's true. Yeah, because it doesn't really matter. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, I guess
Yeah,
Hall of
I'll-
Records.
Scarf down the last of my pie, shoot the rest of the coffee. All right, let's go.
all right. If you finish up, leave the bill and the tip on the table, and you hop in. I assume Zachariah's car, and once again, you'll make your way. It's not actually too far away. All these main buildings are kind of in this downtown core that you're kind of getting used to. After a few minutes, you pull up outside this rather large office building. The Hall of Records, despite the grandeur of the outside, it's just basically a plain governmental office building on the inside, and it does not try to blend in with the other buildings around it. It's just there. It's big, it's fancy, but the inside is very plain. As you make your way towards the front entrance, the glass front doors pass into a lobby that continues into a generic, long, bland hallway lined with glass doors on either side. And as you enter, you see a small elderly man comes from out from one of these doors. He's got a rather fashionable double-breasted suit buttoned up with a high collar. And he walks over to you, and as he kind of looks up as you're coming right through, he's carrying this big stack of papers, and he just kind of drops it all over, and he's, God damn it! You can see he's not amused, and he's flustered at being startled. Get this, and he's bending over and he's picking up these papers.
I go over and I'm helping him. Oh, I'm so
Same.
sorry.
You okay, my good friend?
I'm sorry, you startled me there. That's don't get too many visitors here. Don't
It
I?
must be a nice quiet job. I can see the niceties of that. Such a good job to have.
If by nice you mean boring, then absolutely. That is a
That
very,
is the downside.
this is a very, very nice job. I'm sorry, I'm Clerk Peabody. And you gentlemen are?
Mike Reed. This is my friend Zachariah and Cillian. We came. We're kind of interested. Well, we're actually interested in quite a many few things, but there's one house in particular I'm interested in. I was thinking about purchasing it on Street. If you could, I was wondering if you had any information about the architect or the original blueprints or anything like that in this establishment.
You're no idea.
Maybe
Oh, there you go.
some things you may be looking for is as far as the old owner and possible deeds for the actual building, but as far as layouts and things like that, we don't carry that kind of thing here.
Oh, but something I think you would have would be the city records of the tunnels, the old sewer system. That should be a matter of public record, is it not?
Old sewer system, sir?
Old, yes. Ones that's underneath everything.
Oh.
There must be some record.
You could look. That's not something that I have much knowledge with. Well, when you come with me there, and I'll lead you down over to the filing cabinets, and you can fill your boots, as one would say.
We might find something exciting for a change here. Go on, follow along.
All right, so he leads you down these long, bland, boring hallway, past one bland, boring doorway after another, and he finally turns into one which is unmarked. You would never have found it without his assistant. And he opens the door, and you're basically in yet another room that's just filing cabinet after filing cabinet. And here you go. If you need anything copied, let me know. We can do our best. Doesn't happen right away, obviously, but make sure you put everything back where it was, and yeah.
Fantastic. I'll tell you if we find anything interesting.
What an idea, an instant copier. I bet you could make millions.
Yes, but you're right. I'd probably put someone out of job, so no one is actually going to want it. Right?
You're right.
All right. I'll leave you guys to it. And he kind of shuts the door. Pattering down the hallway. All right. So we're going to start looking and searching.
Zachariah's already crying.
All right.
And do you roll for searching?
It's going to be library use.
That one.
Everyone's favorite stat that they didn't take.
And who can cast guidance?
Yeah. Wow, look at that.
Oh, hey!
Cillian. It's a regular success.
Cillian's like, it's so funny because like I have friggin' 70 education and 85 intellectualism.
Yeah, you're just you You just know stuff. You can't find it.
I mean, like
But you know
in
it.
my mind, it's like from his education in the army or whatever, and researching for movies and stuff.
Zachariah is just too much of a space cadet. He's just like lost. I have no idea what I'm doing.
All right.
He's trying to pretend like he knows what he's doing, but it's just a book about nothing. I don't know.
All right, Celine, as you're kind of flipping through some things, you kind of searching for things. Corbitt. See, Corbitt, huh? There you go.
Now there we are. Corbitt's last will and testament. Come here, boys. Take a look.
What did we find?
I'll pass it over to them.
My poor old eyes. Why do you make the old gentleman read this?
Because I can't figure out how to zoom in on the damn thing.
Yeah, I know it's a pain.
If you can pop it out.
Oh, I
you do a
figured
pop
it
out
out.
and
Read
enlarge
it.
the window.
Walter
This is some
Corbitt.
loopy cursive, though.
No, I figured it out. Like, so at the that
Yep.
little arrow at the very edge
Bottom right.
will allow you to zoom in. This is a strange system to zoom in, but okay, I can read it out if you guys want.
Please
I,
do.
Walter Corbitt, make this my last will and testament in the presence of my Lord and witness to all men. I appoint Michael Thomas as executor of this my last will and testament, who is to serve without land on necessity being required, security, without hand or security being required. I give all my possessions to the Chapel of Contemplation, Boston, including my special book and my property in Sheaf Street.
Sheath Street.
I
Sit
will
down.
my own funeral to be performed by Reverend Michael Thomas at the Chapel of Contemplation, and I will that no relative on so-called friend be allowed to attend, if any pretext whatsoever, but that they be upholded by infantation from entering this damn, I hate this handwriting, chapel on seeing the lady. I also
Prohibited by injunction.
bah
Entering the chapel.
like Killian's annoyed, like
I'm
shoves
sorry.
it at Mike.
Cillian's used to things being typewritten, like orders and stuff. So reading cursive isn't exactly his forte.
Entering the chapel. Okay. Anyway. And I will that by a relative or so-called friend be allowed to attend in any pretext whatever, but that they be prohibited by injunction from entering the chapel on seeing the body. I also direct that no notice whatever of my death shall be given by any relative or friend. And I forbid all letters of condolence and all floral tributes. I wish my body to be interned in the basement of the property on Sheaf Street. Sheaf is the, okay, specified by the instructions left to my executor. Who is the executor? Michael Thomas.
Reverend Michael Thomas. That name again.
Where did we see that? It's like, I
he's
know I've
also
seen it,
the
but
one
I
that
just
performed the funeral, and I assume the reverend of this church. Have I heard of the Chapel of Contemplation, Boston?
That's
Well,
where we were earlier.
That's the
The fill
basement
in?
of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's another common theme. That's the group here.
And you would remember that Reverend Michael Thomas was the leader. He was
the leader of that group. Okay.
And then he He was arrested and then he later escaped custody.
Thank you.
Dude,
That's
does
the
this-
downside of multiple weeks between sessions.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. Does James Abbott, does this signature witness mean anything to me?
No, it does not
Yeah,
ring
I don't think we've seen that one before.
Okay.
So the guy gets put into the basement. His body. With something in the shadows there in the basement, waiting to come back. This starts promising. And then this gentleman who handled those affairs went on to lead a cult that succeeded in spawning a monster.
And Cillian is Zacharias kind of connecting the dots there. You come across the executor records concerning Walter Corbitt and Michael Thomas as well.
Look at this. Name of decadent. Walter Corbitt. November 20th, 1866. Domicile of decadent. Lufus? Lufus? Lofus?
That's an S. SUFF?
These lantern. Which one are we looking at? Are you looking at the?
The Executor
there's-
M. Thomas.
Executive will, the Reverend Michael
Oh,
Thomas.
okay.
I can't
Oh.
read where it says domicile of
no problem.
decadent. I have
Name
no
of the
idea what that
decedent?
was.
Decedent.
Name of the person that
Mhm.
died is Master Corbitt or Walter Corbitt. On the
What is it?
November 20th,
What does it say like
1810.
in domicile underneath?
Domicile of decedent. In other words, where did the dead
No,
guy
no, I
live?
know, but what's the
Suffolk.
Suffolk? Okay, wow. How
Right,
the
right.
hell did you able to read that? That was good.
The executor of the will. This is Michael Thomas. He's the guy. All right. So this is the guy that kept the will, and this is the fun. These letters, granted pursuant to decree entered by the court, authorize and empower the above named executor of the will to perform all acts requisite to the proper administration and disposition of the estate or trust of the decedent in accordance with the decree by the laws of Massachusetts, subject to the limitations and restrictions, if any, as set forth above. Ouch. I'm way too high to be reading that. November 26th, 21st, 1866. God damn, this is the oldest record we've found.
Yeah, it's pretty
This is old.
old.
In testimony of the Seal Suffolk County Civil Court has been affixed. So this is still Suffolk County?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So that puts it just really early in the history.
Mm-hmm.
Going back now.
Also puts the Reverend very early in the history.
Yeah,
Oh, I.
he was alive here, 1860. So that was 40, 50, 60 years ago, and he's 3 years ago leading this group.
And also
That's not
executive
natural.
will, but you don't make a child an executor either. He's probably, another 20 years older than that.
Oh, easily. So this is a supernaturally long life we're dealing with here.
So you've been here about an hour or so looking. Is there anything else you want to target?
Oh yes, those tunnels. Is there a map of tunnels?
You can make me a library use roll. Celia and Mike, anything else?
I would actually kind of like to look up the church if I can figure out who owns it currently, any kind of records on that property.
I want to look up the city plan, see if we can find anything for the basement, like the tunnels, and see if anything to connect the two.
Okay.
Can I luck that roll?
Library use.
Actually,
Zachary,
Yeah,
you
wait.
failed by one.
I
wanna
failed
put-
by
can I-
one.
Yes,
Can I-
go ahead.
yeah,
How
can
would
I
I
push
do it? Just
mine
press
as
luck?
well?
Yeah, just mark off 1 point of luck.
Oh, okay. All right. So
All right, and then I'm gonna push my library use because why not? Oof.
Hey,
Close. And Cillian made it. All right. Zachariah, what were you looking for?
Maps of the sewers.
Okay, Cillian, I think you were kind of
Tunnels,
helping with
whatever,
him.
any kind of map like that.
Right,
yeah.
you were looking for some sort of architectural.
Yeah. Of the church, because he was looking at the church anyway, so it'd be associated with that too.
And Mike, you were looking for stuff about the Church of
Yeah,
Contemplation?
find about history of the church.
Okay.
So yeah, it fits right in.
Mike, as you're searching, you find odd references to the Church of Contemplation that happened in 1912, as far as the raid and the reports of the abduction of the children in the area. But you don't actually find any actual records at all.
Oh, so the absence of evidence. Okay.
Absence of evidence is often evidence of itself.
Okay. Yeah, I'll relate to the group. I can't find any kind of record of it. No tax records, no building, I nothing.
Well, that seems exceedingly criminal.
You can make me a law roll, Mike.
A what roll?
Law skill.
Oh, I didn't know that was a skill. There's so many skills.
So many skills. Oh, look at that. Okay, so given your background as a PI and everything that comes along, you would know that any serious crimes, any of the reports and stuff would be handled by the county or the local police station, Commonwealth or federal courts. Anything as far as the records of city officers participating in arrests or seizures, everything is filed at the central police station. You were already there, and you basically figure you found most or all of the things that might be pertinent to the station.
Okay.
So you're pretty comfortable in.
Yeah, confident. Yeah.
Jillian and Zachariah, you're both kind of flipping through looking for these sewer, old sewer maps and what have you, and you do find some very old drawings of the city. You can kind of make out old streets and then drawings and maps, access points, inlets, outlets into the bay, everything right there.
I'm just looking for something that goes between the church and where the Corbitt house on that street that we keep finding. Is there any tunnels that go from one to the other?
You take a look, and no, it doesn't appear to be any. Actually, there doesn't appear to be anything under the church of or the chapel of contemplation itself.
No record at all is odd. Do we venture into those tunnels, gentlemen?
What have we got to lose, eh?
I assure you, I have quite a bit to lose.
Now was it total our lives
And
sanity and wellness of limb and heart. I know.
I'll do my best to keep you safe from the ethereal spiritual realms. Please don't let anyone hit me.
I'll keep you safe from anything that can bleed.
Don't like being hit.
You should be fine. I'll keep you safe from the ghosties.
Oh, good. Yeah, so no tunnels. That means we got to go to the tunnels, doesn't it? Oh.
Mike, given your extreme success on that roll, I'm going to say as you're kind of flipping through and searching, you do happen to find a piece of paper that's kind of folded over on itself multiple times, which kind of gets hung up in the paperwork.
What is this, gentlemen? Seems to be tucked in behind.
What'd you find?
Good God.
A piece of paper. God's have mercy.
this warrant of arrest.
Poor eyes.
Oh, give me a second. Let's see here. Commonwealth of Massachusetts, warrant of arrest to the sheriff or any police officer or constable of the said county. Whereas BPD Lieutenant Harold Pembroke of said county has this day made complaint and information on oath before me, SF Wilmant, dash Major, a justice of the peace of said county, that Reverend Michael Thomas in the same county did on the 29th day of April 1912, without legal justification and without appropriate cause, Michael Thomas, with the help of accomplice in his church, kidnapped Goodwin Marsh, Martin Reagan, and Lindsay Blake, aged 8. The children have not been seen since their abduction, and there is concern that they may be in danger.
Oh, no.
Investigators suspect that the members of the Chapel of Contemplation are responsible for a series of child abductions.
Bastards.
These are therefore to command you in the name of the Commonwealth to apprehend and bring before me or some other justice of said county the body of said Reverend Michael Thomas and all members of the Chapel of Contemplation, to answer the said complaint to be further dealt with according to law, given under my hand and seal this 2nd day of May 1912. Well, do you think they ever found him and arrested him?
You know
Should
that you know that they did. This is actually the original search authority and arrest warrant for.
This is why they showed up at that church to begin with.
Right.
Because they had the tips that the
Right.
children were missing, and
that's the shit. Yeah, they're like doing an investigation and like walked in on Hell Unleashed.
Yep.
And people saw it, people lived, and they didn't know what to do with that. Holy shit.
so just as you're going through that, there's a knock on the door. It's about lunchtime now, and Clerk Peabody comes back in. Well, gentlemen, how are you making out? Almost lunchtime now. I've got to close the office there for an hour. Did you find what you were looking for?
We most certainly did.
Yeah.
Most
found
certainly
him.
did.
Well, I'm
Found
glad.
great many things.
I'm glad this
Where
old
do you,
building is able to help you out.
I say, if this works out, would you mind if we returned and maybe took some footage with this camera? It could be something of quite a bit of renown.
Oh, well, I personally don't have any issues with it. But I would call the office and speak to...
Oh, it would be all official and everything.
Yeah.
It'd be fine.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. All right then, well, if you don't have any other questions, I'm just going to lock up and go for lunch.
One
Yeah.
more. What would you suggest for lunch around here?
Yes. Yes.
You can head down to any one of the local vendors. There's a couple of very good street vendors.
Excellent.
If you don't mind a hot
Yes.
dog or a coffee.
I do enjoy a street vendor. A hot dog sounds lovely. Gentlemen, can I treat you a hot dog?
Hey, do you like sauerkraut? It's my favorite. It's my German background. My wife doesn't let me eat it very often, but there's a
narrows his eyes.
very good.
Mumbles under his breath.
Surprisingly, Zachariah is totally at home with the idea of this. He loves food he can grab on the go, but he's like, this is something he's always doing. Little man eating a hot dog on the street corner.
Right, he kind of gives you directions to the place and bids you good do and good day, and locks the door behind you as he disappears, goes for lunch. So you find yourself on the steps of the the Hall of Records.
Well, gentlemen, I don't know what to do. I have no idea.
I mean, we always have going to the house. We could maybe try and track down this reverend, but I feel like, I mean, how could he still be alive after living that long?
Have we run into anything that said what happened to him?
To whom? The Reverend
Yeah.
or Corbitt?
uh, the Reverend.
But didn't he die at the bombing with the?
Did he die there?
The Reverend?
Yeah.
No, he was
He
arrested.
was arrested. Yeah. But what
Mhm.
happened to him? Where's he in jail?
He escaped custody.
That's right.
Oh.
He's on the lam.
Okay. All right. So.
Ah. Okay. Looks like we have an escape, but so no one knows. Does no one? When did he escape exactly? Do we know?
It was right around the time of the. It couldn't have been long after they arrested him.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
What do you think the chances are that Reverend's in or near the house? I mean, he does own it from what we found. He was executor of the will.
Well, and there was also mention of gentlemen that looked like, shall we say, cult members roaming around, and we know he liked his cult members around him. I
by
think
that-
it is a safe assumption.
Too.
Right.
Once
You know they're
go to the church. We have a lot of venues to explore.
yeah, that
And
Yeah,
What else did we learn? What else did we learn? Anything else?
we know the general direction the kids that painted the graffiti went. The church is active somewhere in the city. We could start looking for where they have moved to.
Give me an refitting.
And this might be something I would have heard rumors of, and old ladies babbling about stuff that they hear secondhand. Does it ring a bell with me?
Give me an EDU roll, Mike. Zachariah, no, you have none. Actually, none of you have ever heard of this Chapel of Contemplation, even before this all went down. You kind of get a feeling that you,
Just completely missed its existence.
yeah, there may be some articles that were published about it in the newspaper, possibly. But other than that, oh, look at Mike. You passed for the 79,
My
eh?
teeth.
Ooh.
No, I can't remember why I had you roll. You were looking up.
I think it's because I said we could find out where the church has moved to.
Yes.
Yes.
Church, yes.
Yeah, so that falls basically in the same vein. There that you haven't heard or read anything about it. Again, it could be something in the print. But you have, I mean, there's no. This place didn't go over very well, so it wouldn't be openly advertising for members, I guess you could say. You would know that from your. Right, they've gone underground if they're still around.
Right.
So you won't.
No flyers on a street pole or anything.
Yeah, you won't find anything current about them, but you may find something in the past. But you've searched pretty much everything you can think of other than the public library.
Go back to the newspaper and see if we can find anything more about this church. See if we can find any headlines where they went, or any other things that sound like them. More missing kids or anything. Seems like that's a piece of the puzzle.
More books.
You guys.
More filing cabinets.
Yes, now that with that roll, you guys went through the Boston Globe with a fine-tooth comb on any mention of the chapel or these missing kids or anything along that lines would have jogged your memory. You would have been, no, you know what, we didn't see anything. No, I think that's a dead end. for now.
Gentlemen, I think that this secret society takes the being secret seriously.
That
I can't
sounds
figure out
like
anything about them.
sounds like our best lead's going back to the house, gentlemen.
If it means no more staring at paper, absolutely.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna shut on over to the house. Take a look. It's daylight.
DM, could I request a quick 10-minute break? Just,
Oh, absolutely, please.
Absolutely. Sounds good. We'll take a 10-minute. Welcome back. The party has jumped back into Zachariah's car and left the Hall of Records with their brain filled with new knowledge and decide it's time to acclimate themselves with the Corbitt house. A car trundles through the streets of downtown Boston. It's not long before once again they find themselves standing in front of the two-story structure. The large wooden door once again in front of us, in front of you, locked up, and you can see the basically 12 inches or so of dead grass and blackened soil that surrounds the perimeter of the entire building lies before you. You are on the steps. I believe, Mike, you have the key.
Yeah, that sounds right. So yeah, I'll walk up to the steps. Assume if nothing looks different, I'll just use the key and open it up.
All right. No, nothing looks different. You put the big key, give it a turn, and slide the door open. Once again, find yourself in the darkened hallway.
No music, no phones going off.
All is silent. The air is stale, and even though it's warmed up outside, there's a definite chill in the house. Moving,
Yeah, we were already there this way before, I remember.
Mike and Zachariah, you head back into the living room where there's just an inordinate amount of crosses and rosary beads spread out all over, and you see that damn radio in the corner still unplugged. Thick layer of dust.
Right. Not much has really changed here, I see.
How do I rotate my character so the flashlight rotates? Is it control? No. Alt?
That's yours. There you go.
Control.
And your mouse wheel.
Yeah, control with the
Assume
mouse
I'm in
wheel.
and out. I'll figure it out. Oh, wait.
Control with the mouse wheel, Mike.
There we go.
Also turn wherever you drag.
Alright. See, I'm doing control and mouse wheel for you, Mike.
Yeah, now that's
There
zooming
we
me in and out, but it's not a big deal.
Sometimes you got to like move your token and then do it,
Yeah.
or
let's
the
just
control catches sometimes.
do a refresh.
Maybe try your left control as opposed to your right control, or vice versa.
Good idea.
As you make your way through the living room, you find yourself in the dining room. The bucket of old, what you thought was rice, still sits on the table. The fingernails that you can see still gouged into the wood. As you move your way through the curtains, ceiling, you find yourself once again staring into the kitchen.
Trying to take a step inside, and this time I'll make a deliberate effort to look for any knives.
I'm just gonna walk over and just look right at the silverware. Just look for any knives.
All right.
Any knives?
So the two of you are back in the kitchen going through the utensils. You're finding a number of regular knives, serrated kitchen, smaller serving knives, a whole number of different types and styles.
I just look for the biggest, giantest knife of
I'm
that I
gonna
can
look for
see.
some. I'm gonna look for some salt. Actually, would I've been messing around with eldritch stuff for so long that I don't even know if this would count as common knowledge anymore. Would it be common knowledge that salt is used to like ward off evil spirits?
I don't think it would be common knowledge. For you, it might be just
Yeah,
given
definitely would be.
your background.
Would Cillian know it?
Cillian might know. It might have been a. You can roll an EDU check if you'd like, but I would think it'd be something that your grandmother, from the old country, may have mentioned.
Yeah.
And absolutely, yeah. You remember she would have it and sprinkle it around the doorways and stuff.
I'll look for some salt then.
All right, give me a spot hidden roll. Zachariah, without too much of an issue, you go over to there's like a little butcher block, and you're shining your light, and you come across just an array of knives, and you see a rather large butcher knife there. Nice wooden handle, a couple of old-fashioned rivets.
I can grab that.
All right, Cillian, you're looking through the cupboards and just kind of looking around, and you don't see any salt here.
No salt.
Salt? What do you mean?
Actually, Cillian, make me a luck roll.
Luck roll. What would that be? Straight up, just does a luck stat? I mean,
There's a luck
there
stat.
it is.
Yep.
Got the
Yes. Yeah, you have no luck of the Irish, so yeah, no salt.
Irish. Well, the joke is that luck of the Irish is that it's actually terrible luck.
Ah,
Exactly.
Oh yeah. No salt.
Hmm.
For protection.
What do you want salt for?
Protection. I'm surprised, Professor Man.
Oh, I know
Look
that, but
at-
not many people do. It's impressive. Very
Old
impressive.
Granny used to. Old Granny Houlihan taught me about it.
It's fascinating. It's everywhere. And- you want? What does it do? You wanted what? Salt?
Salt.
I go look around. Do I see any salt?
you do not.
No. Okay.
That scared me.
It was a good thought.
As you're kind of looking around the kitchen there, you hear what kind of sounded like a door closing. It was faint, but it sounded like it may have been coming from upstairs. Sorry, go ahead. Who was asking?
What's that door here if we ever observed it?
Yeah, there is a door closed in front of you.
All right. So we never did that, right?
Isn't that what the phone was?
The
I should
phone's
open the door.
basically right in front of you.
Oh, okay.
Cillian, you open the door and you find yourself staring back into the hallway.
Ah.
You can see to your left the open front door.
Let's see. Out of curiosity, we haven't been in too many rooms at this house, have we?
Shall we look around?
Just these. Yeah, we're circling back, but yeah, let's check out the
Let's
rest of
look
the
around.
house.
I see. I
If
say.
that room
Okay.
had a bunch of garbage.
Ah.
Zachariah, you open the door to the north in front of you, and you seem to open up a room. You see a few overcoats, galoshes, hats, umbrellas, that kind of deal hanging from several hooks. You see several bags of what looks like coal, probably for the living room's stove. And you also see another door, which you surmise is the door heading to the side of the house. But you can see there's one original lock, and there's two more brand new big bolts that have been installed much more recently than the original ones, and locking the door from the inside.
Gentlemen, I found an obscenely strong door.
Let's have a look, shall we? I
I-
think
I-
I
I-
had a crowbar as part of my tools.
Zachariah just kind of is like, oh, no, not my area of expertise. And gets way out of the way.
I thought I did, but I'm not seeing it there.
You're seeing, you're basically looking at a door with two big sliding locks. Like you could open them, and then there's a door with a keyhole on it.
Let's see. Could I? What do I need to try, like, to open this bastard with maybe lockpicks or something like that?
Yeah, you can slide the two big bolts first. You can slide those open. They give away relatively easily. And let's see, what do you got for skills here?
Would that be security?
Could be locksmith. There it is, locksmith.
Let's go.
Ooh.
All right, you pull out your little set there, and you get at her, and it doesn't take you very long, a couple of minutes, and all of a sudden there's the click of the door.
Open sesame.
I say, you got it open?
I did indeed. I'll open it. Poke my head out. Ah, just another door to the outside.
That's an odd thing. What were they trying to keep out?
Well, I suppose they just really cared about their privacy. Actually, now that I'm looking around, Cillian will put two and two together and be like, the door. This does look like a landing. Like the shoes and the coats there, and the umbrella.
Yeah, it looks like an old-fashioned mud room, right?
Aye.
So, nothing jumped out at us.
Nothing yet.
These coats. Is this mud on? Is there mud on them? Is it wet? Are they really dry and dusty?
No, they're all dry and with a layer of dust on them. Haven't been disturbed in some time.
I don't think there's answers here.
Back into the hallway. There's one door that you haven't opened up there, and Sakura.
Stairs up here over there. Let's finish up down here first.
There's a door and stairs on the east side. Cillian, as your Zachariah turns and walks down the hallway behind you, hear another thumping. It's like it's coming from upstairs. Thump, thump.
What's that?
Thump. Muffled. You're not quite sure what it could be. A door closing maybe, or a window, or doesn't sound like footsteps. It's hard to put out.
Could be the wind.
Zachariah, you find yourself in front of the door there.
Anything particularly interesting about this door?
No, it's your run-of-the-mill door, pretty much identical to all the other ones here. It opens.
He just gingerly opens it and walks in.
And walks in. You do find yourself in a room that's basically filled with boxes of junk. You see what looks like old rusted water tanks, some old bicycles, and at the one end of the room you see a cupboard, which looks like it's boarded shut.
This looks interesting. Go up and... Do I actually have... No, I don't. Huh. He gives it a ginger pull to see if anything just will open for him. Not expecting it to.
Well, it's got, it actually has boards across it, and it's been physically nailed closed.
I'm not getting in here. I say, one of you strong young gentlemen, I have a puzzle you can help me with.
Is he? Oh, is he upstairs?
No, I'm downstairs. I'm way down at the other end of the hall.
Yeah, he's down
Saw me
here.
going down almost like I was
Oh.
leaving the building.
Come on. Sylvie and Harry's over. Oh, there he is. So, Harry's over to Zachariah.
All right, you come in the room and you find this same room filled with odds and ends, and see this rather large cabinet in front of you, and it's been locked shut with various boards and nails.
I go, I'm curious what's in this, but alas, I cannot open it.
Any of you gents happen to have a crowbar? I could pick a piece of wood here and use it.
Perhaps we shall have to add that to our tools we keep.
I believe Mike
Put them in
did
my
have a crowbar, and
Somebody had it.
he heads back out to the car, and a minute later he comes back with the crowbar. So here you go, and he passes it over to you, Cillian.
Actually, I'm wearing fingerless gloves here. I don't do that. What would I use for that? Would that be locksmith again?
No, you're good. You're just gonna try it open.
Right.
Yeah. We won't even need a roll for that. You start working on it with the crowbar and kind of pulling on it, and you pop off one board and the next, and then the next, until you have it open. As you wrench the cupboard door open, it is empty, except for 3 books. And on these books, labeled 1, 2, and 3, in a very cursive script, says W. Corbitt.
Curious.
May I? Ask if I can see the books.
No, I'll hand it to you.
Let's see what this has to say.
All right,
This appears to be Mr. Corbitt's own book.
You take a look at it, and it is you flip it open, and the book is handwritten. It's in English, which is you're relieved that it's not in Latin. Although sometimes they're strangely phrased. You think that to read all of these, this will probably take you a few days to read through.
I just look at the very last entry in the last book. Let's see what they had to say before they had no more to say.
Should have a zoom on this one.
It seems to be working. I just had a button to hit load PDF. Oh yeah, let's just PDF format.
Yeah.
Automatic
Yeah, I'm looking at it. And it's downloading.
Nice.
All the windows come up, but it still takes a while for the PDF to catch up. There we go. Oh.
Yeah, there's
Oh no.
Should have paid more attention to cursive.
there's a lot there. I can give you a kind of a Reader's Digest for now if you'd like.
Please God do. Please God do.
All right. So as you're kind of thumbing through it and reading through, you can Cillian and Mike, you can hear him mumbling. Any sense? What? Well, so Zachariah, it's basically what you believe is these are diaries that are basically describing Corbitt's various occult experiments. including the summoning of an unearthly spirit and other magic. And there's a spell in there that he has called Call Forth the Opener of Ways.
I'm saying that out loud, as I read it.
And you can see it's rather lengthy, and it's got some script that you don't understand, and it looks like
I just kind of skip over the spell, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you now have the three Corbitt diaries. And like I said, if at some point you want to read them, you can, but it will take you 2 to 3 days to go through them.
That's a between sessions thing. Ooh. All right. Well. So you cast the spell to open. And that's when things went haywire.
And
Dare say he was successful.
Zachariah, as you start reading over the part with the spell, you can feel in the back of your neck again, you feel that sensation, that tingling, that light pain, gnawing, almost like the headache again, that the same feeling that was starting to overcome you when you were at the Chapel of Contemplation.
This place is thick with magnetic vapors of ectoplasm. I can feel it. Let us keep exploring. Let us see what else we can find. This is marvelous. He just kind of, at this point, he's just like.
The ceiling, you hear that creaking again.
What's that noise?
Yeah.
Who's that, gentleman?
Seems to be coming from stairs again. Maybe it's the wind.
Gentlemen, there's a sound down there.
It up there.
I do not intend to get any closer.
Is it above us or below us?
Sounds like it's coming from
Down the
upstairs.
hall.
The stairs upstairs. The stairs upstairs. Oh,
Kind of
the
get.
damn phone again.
Oh dear, that damn phone. Mike, I'm right
It's,
behind you.
Yeah, the
So
phone's a
in.
distraction. I'll definitely probably get my gun out at this point, though.
All right.
As will I, Dick. As will I.
Zachariah, you see Mike and Cillian kind of reach down and pop the safety off of the holster. Your hand just instinctively goes there as they hear these sounds as you're making your way down the dark hallway. The only real light that's coming besides that of your flashlight is coming straight down from the hall. As you make your way to the end of the hallway, you find on your left a set of stairs. It seems to go up to the second floor, and on the right is a very heavy door.
Well, I think we wanted to go down, not up, but does it look heavy like we have to push hard?
Mike, you go and take a look at the door. It is a very heavy, formidable looking door. You see that, like the door to the mudroom and the main door, this one, there are multiple sliding bolt locks. There's 3 of them.
Okay. Wait, 3 on my side? Like they're keeping something out of this room? Oof.
I don't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Damn it. How long have I been muted?
For a while. I tried to get your attention on it, and I was like, well, maybe just me.
All right. So haven't heard anything about the door, about the stairs?
We heard that there's a heavy door.
Oh,
and there's
okay.
3 bolts, and that was it.
Oh, then that's weird. Okay, I just looked down and I noticed it was muted for some reason. So yes, you see the stairway goes up to your left into darkness, which you observe is the second floor. On your right was this very thick-looking oak door. On your side are 3 large sliding bolt locks and 1 very large, intricate-looking keyhole and handle.
I dare say, gentlemen, don't open that door. Not yet. Let's find out what else is here first. That appears to be closed for a reason.
So up the stairs then? The noisy, creaky stairs? Flashing back to me falling down through the floor of...
After you, yes.
All right,
I
Mike.
guess I will gingerly go up the stairs.
All right, go ahead.
Tuck behind him.
Gun out.
Kind of feel like I'm seeing between layers. Like I see bed attack, children whispers,
Oh.
but I'm on a black grid. Oh.
Yeah, now I'm seeing it
Yeah,
too.
your light starts. Yeah.
All right, you
So yeah, okay. We're
I
you've
think one
It's
of
a
us
whole
should switch
floor
to a
of a
lantern.
house. Ooh.
okay.
I'm gonna switch to a lantern.
The three of you make your way up the stairs. They creak and groan under the weight, although they do seem rather sturdy. You turn at the landing and climb up to the second level and find yourself looking at a long hallway, very similar to the main hallway and then on the first floor. But on this side there are windows, although they are all boarded and shuttered. Directly on your left, there is a door, and you also see. Let's see, you see one door just down to your left.
Zachariah, hear anything? Just tapping, huh?
I guess I'll move forward a little bit and kind of listen at the door.
Right next to them,
All right.
ready to back them up. Actually, if I can, I'd like to be next to Mike so I can have.
Yeah,
I can, like, back each other up.
I'm like clear.
All right.
There.
Mike, Cillian, Becker. All right. As you open the door there, you find yourself in a bedroom. You see in the middle of the room against the northern wall is basically just a bed frame that no longer has a mattress. The bare steel springs are kind of sticking up and pointy. And there's a dresser on the eastern wall. Other than that, it doesn't seem to be a lot going on here. Other than over this window, you can see that it appears one of the shutters is Gesundheit is loose, and it seems to be rattling and banging in the wind.
Move towards it and close it.
All right, so and you head over and you are looking at the window and the shutters, and you can see on the shutters aren't quite closed. The latch is kind of loose, and you look down and you see on the sill, the window sill there, you see a rather large ornate key. And when you see that, you kind of think, hey, that might actually looks about the right size to maybe fit in that big door. Cillian, you want to make a spot hidden roll?
Yes. Spot them.
All right, you're
I would like to
push that roll. Roll it again. 50. Okay, so you failed, and because you pushed, that's a hard failure the next time. So basically, as you're looking around, you see the key. You grab the key, and you're like, "Hey guys, look what I found." When
Hey guys, look what I found.
Mike, as you're watching Cillian go over to the windowsill, and he seems to pick up something, the bed next to you all of a sudden vaults straight up into the air. It's hovering over the air, and before you can even say anything, it flies through the air, and it strikes Cillian, pushing him out of the window.
Oh.
So the bed leaps up, flies through the air, strikes Cillian in the back, and pushes him out the window. Cillian, you're standing there looking at this key. All of a sudden, you feel this metal pushing you right in the meat of your back. And you find yourself being pushed forward, off balance, caught unaware, through the window, through the glass. You fall onto the first level roof and roll and fall off the edge onto the ground.
Dear.
Is there a roll against that, or?
You've failed them already.
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause I pushed.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're gonna roll.
Ah!
We're gonna roll damage.
Ironic.
Oh, minimum damage. So, Cillian.
Don't sound so disappointed.
So, Cillian, you're basically on the ground outside now. You have little shards of glass in you, and you're kind of stunned. Mike, you can make me a sanity check, please.
Okay.
Oh, it's just happened.
Let's see. So sanity. There it is.
Hey, it's our first ever sanity check, people.
Yeah.
How do I get it to roll? It's not right click like the other ones.
Oh.
Left click to toggle automatic calculation.
Yeah, it's not rolling. It's got reset, indefinite, bout of madness.
I
Well, not
don't
very
have any of
happy
those
sounding.
yet. Oh, no. Where were you?
The mouse wheel didn't do. Oh, I think I was at 60 before I was messing with the mouse wheel.
Let's not do that. Yeah, just roll a D100.
D100, okay. Let's see, that's
No.
Yeah, how do you do that?
I
53.
also got something for being a private eye for insanity rolls.
That probably would have added it to your sanity. Oh, did I just do that? Oh, there it is. So it's right click on sanity.
Ah, there it is.
And it gives you a whole lot of options: encounter, roll, oppose, roll, combined roll, request roll.
Cool.
All right. So you your sanity's 50. You rolled a 53, so you passed. So you are going to lose only 1 point of sanity.
All right.
As you see this bed kind of lift up and wander over and slam into him. You're like, what the hell was this? Beds can't do that.
This is insane.
Yeah. San 1 or 1d4. Those who pass should lose 1 sanity point.
Do I need to roll anything?
You do not, because you were in the hallway still.
Oh,
You
okay.
were just about to come in, so you actually didn't see it. So, Mike, you're the only one that actually saw it.
Oh. I dare say, where did he go?
Are you all right? I guess is the bed like on the ground now, or is it still hovering?
Yeah, no, the bed basically pushed him out of the window
Right,
and settled right back down.
I'll see if I'll run to the window and see if I can see him.
All right, you head over to the window, looking through the broken glass. You do not see him. You can hear some muttering and coming from down below.
Are you all right? That looked like a pretty terrible fall.
I'm fine. I had work at work.
Why are you outside? We need to be doing things in here. Get back here.
Coming back in. I'll clamber to my feet and make my way back inside the house and up the floor and to them. In a hurry.
Why would he leap out the window? And what's in here? And I look at this chest. This.
And how many hit points was that you lost? 3?
1.
It was 1. Oh, yeah, 3. It was 1 plus 2.
Oh, 1 plus 2?
Yeah.
Oh, no, okay.
So you're down to 7 out of 10.
How do I mark that down?
There, I just did it on your character sheet.
Thank you. Is there a medicine or first aid roll I can roll?
Yep, there absolutely is.
Roll first aid to try and see what I can do about this.
Right, so that'll give you 1 point back. Mike and Zachariah, as you're kind of looking out the window, a minute later, Cillian comes walking up.
How's he look?
I can roll. Save your life.
Are you all right?
What the fuck happened?
Yeah, you have no
I
idea what
do.
happened, Cillian. Only Mike does.
Some pushed me.
I look over at Mike. You didn't push him out the window, did you? Oh, of course, he's not there. I'm.
It felt metal.
This tapping seems so loud now.
It is.
I eyeball this. Was it like a chest of drawers or something?
Killian staying away from the windows.
No, I'm gonna brave the chest of drawers, see if I see anything in here.
Keep my gun out and ready for anything.
All right. Zachariah, you head over to the this chest of drawers there and give me a spot hidden.
Certainly. Ooh, nice.
Oh, very nice. You take a look and you go through it thoroughly. You don't find anything, and you're pretty confident that there's nothing else really of interest in this room. It's pretty bare, other than this than the bed.
Gentlemen, I don't think our answers are in here. Let's continue. So be careful at what jumps out behind us.
So you've got the key still in. You got this big key, and you've got. You're back in the hallway.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, let's
You're
keep going.
making your way
Off I go.
west.
Let's.
For once, yeah. I'm like,
Professor, hold on. Let me be at the front.
oh yeah.
I'm the
This
one
this
with
door
the
here
gun
then.
After all,
There's a door there.
aye, there is. We'll open it. Seems to be a child's room. It's toys, a couple of beds.
All right, you pop open the door. You make your way into what obviously looks to be a child's bedroom. You see 2 small beds. You see a couple of small dressers, and a box of toys seems to be upended on the table. Everything is, of course, layered in a very thin layer of mist or dust.
He had children.
Aye, we hear that.
How utterly horrifying a thought. What happened to them?
Zechariah, you
Families.
would remember that Victoria and her husband had 2 kids, and they were living here just until
Thank you.
not
All right.
too
Yes,
far
yes,
back.
yes. This is where the children were lived. Okay. This makes sense. This is what we would expect in here. It's the children's room. And you just. Oh. We go back out to the hallway.
Right. Soon, as you're looking around in the room, you notice on the wall
Oh,
some drawings.
well, this one won't be hanging up in the lover, I don't think.
And on the other side, scribbled onto the wall under the window,
R.I.P. Shit. Well, who are you, mystery man? Are you our spirit?
What have you found?
Mike comes over and takes a look at it. Boy, that's dark.
Look.
Huh. This looks like a gentleman coming from a grave. I think that's pretty straightforward. But the other one, this one,
I imagine.
does
the
this
old man
ring a bell
Palmer.
with anything? Does this look like anything I've ever seen in any of the subjects I've looked at before, or is it completely new?
Yeah, this is nothing like you've seen before. You could make a psychoanalysis. Or maybe a psychology roll.
Psychology?
Yeah. You have really no idea. I mean, they're kids' drawings, and they're dark.
Yes. It was horrible.
If I
What must
could
have
tell
happened
you.
to these children?
Probably not. Psychology of 10. Psychoanalysis of 1. No way.
Zachariah.
And they're just kids trying.
And just an FYI, psychoanalysis is kind of like insight
Okay.
for future reference.
All right.
Judging the behaviors of others. Zachariah, you head back into the hallway to your left, and you do notice another door. And Mike, you're grumbling about the drawings, makes his way behind you, and still on his pistol.
I kind of step back and to the side, and kind of so things skinny past
Yeah,
me.
let me
you,
handle
gentlemen.
that here. I can move them all. Mike comes by and he opens the door. Well, this is interesting.
Oh? Is it safe to come in, do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, oh yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh dear, what is this?
so you enter this last, looks like to be some sort of main bedroom. Ordinary in most of its features. A bed, dresser, full of nightstands, and a bookshelf. And once again, a boarded up window. Of course, this is once again full of crosses, candles, rosary beans rest on the table and besides the bed.
I'm
candle's actually
immediately
lit.
looking at the. I'm looking at the books.
It's not lit. It's the map.
I'm gonna look at the crosses. Is there anything outstanding about them?
Which one are you gonna look at? Any specific or
The one where I am, like in the corner here.
right in the corner? The one that's on the table?
In my car.
All right. You walk over and you're looking at this small cross. And it's kind of silvery metals of the figure of Jesus on the wooden cross. The little tiny little stakes kind of catch the light reflecting off of the metal. And you're looking at Mike. And as you're looking at it, the head of Jesus
Oh my god. Let's look at me.
slowly turns to look at you.
Ah, fuck, that's scary. What I rolled did not shit my pants.
Give me a sanity check.
Cillian screams and drops it. Faith in fucking pagoda.
So you open your character sheet
Sanity, there it is.
and then right click. Yeah.
Oh, it says 55 out of 99. Is that how it's supposed to be?
Yeah, your sanity is based on your core skills, and your maximum can always only be 99.
Oh, so it's like based on my powers then.
Yeah.
I see.
Yep. Cillian. Fail. Okay. And Mike. So, yeah, you're watching this little silver head kind of spin and look at you, and it keeps going and going and turns all the way around, and you kind of jump back and you scream, and Mike is startled by you screaming. He looks at you. He's like, "What the fuck? Jesus Christ, man! You're giving me a heart attack." What?
The head.
What?
The head. Turn around.
What about the head?
Turn around.
What?
The fucking Jesus head. The fucking Jesus head.
I think you
I'm
heard.
looking at what he's looking at. Do I see anything odd?
No,
going on?
you do not. And Mike, I think you hit your head, buddy. Yeah, I think you're seeing things now.
I know what I fucking saw. I know what I fucking saw.
Does this sound like any like a delusional thing that I would have run into dealing with the occult? Or would this seem? Can I?
Hey, give me an occult roll.
You got it.
This is definitely some sort of manifestation, you think, although it could also be because of his injury. The fact that neither yourself nor Mike seems to have seen what Cillian has seen, it's either directly targeting him or it is a figment of his imagination. Now, because he took some serious trauma falling up second story window, you're not exactly sure which one it is.
A good man. Keep me informed of what you see. Just know it isn't real, but that's okay.
Jesus had turned its head.
This house is fucking cursed.
Dark powers here. Merely turn back and start scouring through the titles in the bookshelf, see if there's anything significant.
All right. Mike is just, he kind of goes and sits on the bed there while you're looking around, and you start to go over to the bookshelf. When you start flipping through it, you don't see anything that really strikes your eye. There's
Just in the corner, like.
yeah, I mean, you're sore and you're still hurting. Zechariah, you don't really see anything. You see multiple copies of the Bible, which is a little weird. And
Books seem decorative.
give me a spot hidden. Actually, a listen roll.
A listen roll.
Listen roll.
Interesting.
While you're standing at the bookcase, you're right next to the window. Something draws your attention to the window, and you go over and you unlock the hasp, and you open it up, and you can hear and see now what caught your attention was the sound of children playing. And as you look out the window, you can see the street. You can see your car. You can see the street lights. And it's raining again. And you see children, young children, playing, looks like kickball or something in the street. But you notice right away, the clothes that they wear are older. Not in so much as they're worn out, but they're fashionably
Out of time.
older. And you can hear them giggling and laughing and kicking the
Does he
ball.
make believe that these are the children? What's this, you know what I mean? Gentlemen, I think the children are still here.
And you
Kind of point out the window. See if there's anybody else sees it.
Celine, you're right next to the window. Do you take a look?
Very, very, very fucking carefully. Don't want to fall out again.
All right, you.
Once was enough.
Once it was enough. You peek your head out and you look, and all you see is the rain coming down
Didn't see nothing.
the street. A car parked on the street. And Zachariah, as you were turned and you were talking to Cillian, you turned to God.
Shame. Remind me to use the camera next time. That would have been lovely footage. Kick myself.
And you kind of do. It's still kind of hanging there from your suitcase that you've been lugging around.